Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. We are going to be doing the part 2 of episode 9 of season 2 of Rabbits. This title is Adam Love Bomb. We are ramping up for a rather good finish. So let's get on with it.
From the Public Radio Alliance in Minnow Beach, Wales.
The second intro. It's like almost 6 minutes in and we get to the second intro for this show. It's great.
You're listening to Rabbits. I'm Riley Bennett. Stay with us.
Yeah. I think this is where we get into more of the core of the story. And I don't know how well you could hear me talking over the music, so I kind of did that. Let's go back to it. I'll listen to it in post and see how well it comes out over top of the the video music. But there we go. That might work a little bit better. I just turned the desktop audio down a little bit. See, I'm not real sure if I want to classify that as the opening, with having a faux opening at the beginning, then the second opening. I don't know how. And it just kind of, I keep forgetting that they have them because I've not only am I doing YouTube videos, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, and sometimes I forget about it and it kind of surprises me. It's like, you know.
Everything you know and love will be lost forever?
That's what I said.
Okay, forgive me, but that sounds a little dramatic.
Yeah, it does. But that's Rabbits for you.
It's not dramatic, it's what's happening. It's the way the Traveler has set it up.
How do you know that?
Read it in a scroll in Cairo.
And again in a crypt below the British Museum in London.
Yeah, this is kind of like the people pointing at the stars in Prometheus. All the different art that they pull. If you've seen the movie Prometheus, it's like one of the alien movies. There's a section where it pulls all this art from different places, and it's all these people pointing at the same solar system that's not ours.
Wow, okay.
Tell me everything that's happened to you so far.
I sat down with Violet and Carly Parker and told them everything from the very beginning.
And yeah, that's always a good place to start, the beginning.
They nodded occasionally as I spoke, interjecting a question every now and then for clarification. When I'd finally finished speaking, Carly stood up.
That's quite a story.
You see what I'm talking about? I told you she was playing.
Maybe.
I think for sure.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy, kind of fast. Is this episode and next episode is really quite crazy.
Okay, well, if that is indeed the case, I need to show you something.
What is it?
I'm not sure exactly, but I think it might be a map.
Yeah, maps. Maps are funny things.
Carly led me into another section of the office area where a large corkboard had been set up. It looked like they'd been working on something, murder wall style, for quite a while.
Or conspiracy murder wall.
It looks like you've been tracking a serial killer on a cop show from 2008.
A Wire reference, I think. I think 2008's when The Wire was on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What are you looking for?
Patterns?
None of this stuff looks like a pattern. It's all...
Patterns sometimes are a lot bigger than what we first anticipate, so we're looking at too small of an area to see the patterns. Sometimes we have to look at a bigger and bigger picture to see the repetitive nature of the pattern.
Also,
Random?
yeah.
Well, it's not random.
Well, chaos in and of itself is not random because it always strives toward order. It's kind of, it is one of those philosophical puzzles, enigmas that are just fun to play with in the brain.
It's all predetermined, all connected.
I spent most of the time since that last season of the podcast ended trying to figure out what was going on, if the 9th iteration had really ended, and why the game had become so corrupt.
And the corruption of the game plays a major factor in the the novel, the first novel.
And that's what led me to the myth of the Traveler, a mysterious player who may have created a game within the game of rabbits.
Which is kind of like in the Dune novels, plans within plans within plans, games within games within games.
Turns out the Traveler isn't a myth.
Really?
Really.
We're not 100% sure, but we're getting there.
The Traveler is real, and he's fucked something up with the game.
Yeah, and it's their job to unfuck it.
Before we get into all of that stuff, there's something I've been wanting to ask.
Me?
No.
What is it?
She wants to know what the hell has been going on with me since the last season of Rabbits ended, right?
Yep, that's the obvious question.
Riley?
She's right.
There are a lot of things that happened during the first season of this show that I can't explain, but I'll do my best to catch you up, but we don't have much time.
Yeah, and it gets kind of crazy too. It stays pretty crazy.
Okay.
Please hurry.
Now, a quick disclaimer. The main reason I'm unable to remember every detail is the fact that there were drugs involved.
Yes, we remember that from the last part of the whole lighthouse party and wardens and all that craziness. Which is kind of interesting to play out in your head.
How much and to what end I was drugged, I'm still trying to work that out. But there was definitely something there.
The man called Jones?
It's possible Jones was responsible, or another party, maybe the people behind the game.
Or Jones and the people, and everything just kind of was working at their own ends, and just that's how it happened to fall.
Wardens?
Maybe. Yumiko's convinced it was all drugs, but her experience was quite different from my own.
Right, I remember.
There's another possibility, which is my current working theory.
What's that?
Nobody was drugged in an effort to harm, but rather we were drugged and manipulated to procure a result.
Which is very much something that the U.S. government is, let's just say, their hands aren't real clean when it comes to that. Looking at you, MK Ultra people.
An emotional shift that eventually allowed you to facilitate some kind of move between dimensions?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, then yeah, the way that the first season ended, it's kind of up in the air. But drugs are going to do the drug things.
Yes.
Do you think the Gatwick Institute is real, like you and Joan suspected during the podcast? Drugging, experimenting on children? Or do you think that Gatwick Games guy was legit at the end of season 1?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past the U.S. government, because I know I've received shots growing up in a military family. My father accidentally hit the mouse button. Growing up, that I received, that when I became an adult and got a copy of my short records, I know, especially high school, because it's fairly recent, that I was giving more vaccinations than what showed up on my shot records. So I am pretty sure the U.S. government, through the armed forces, whether it be Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force now, I guess, have been experimenting on people with drugs. So it is what it is.
Why can't both be true?
I hadn't thought about that.
Well, to be honest, I haven't had time to do any additional deep digging into Gatwick either.
Why is that?
She's been trying to stay alive.
Yeah, I guess the preservation of your own life kind of interferes with investigative stuff.
Thankfully, we've been able to stay one step ahead of the people trying to find us. My theory is that they're trying to kill me.
And being dead is not something anyone wants, especially at a fairly youthful age. Or I should say most people.
Oh.
Somebody has been working very hard to find me since the last episode of the first season of the podcast aired. People close to me have gone missing, and worse.
Yumiko?
She's fine, but she doesn't want anything to do with rabbits.
And to be honest, Yumiko is too obvious of a target.
And that includes the podcast.
Got it.
And we'll go ahead and leave this here. Call this good for today. Until next time, everybody, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?